We want some more of it. That's why we're doing the doTERRA business, right? And of course, underneath all of that, all of you have deeper whys that you're doing this for. But you know what? It takes money, doesn't it? It takes money. So I'm going to just start here. The other day, just to kind of catch you up, if you're just watching this for the first time, we played with these different scenarios of enrolling people. And so I kind of showed you some of the different ways and what they look like. For instance, if you're to enroll 3 people on your top level and 2 on your second, you know, just how many people are there in each level after you duplicate that out. And this is just a picture of how that looks when it's duplicated out, meaning, and this is just for those first 2 people, just duplicating it right here and here. If you kept duplicating it out, you know, this is the number. And so by showing the various scenarios using the same 5 people, see there's 5 here, 5 here, 5 here, and 5 here, but we're just placing them different and seeing what the bottom line is, okay? And today, before I go further into the totals and the money aspect of placing people in these different scenarios, I need to talk about the LRP, or the Loyalty Rewards Program, and how that plays into it. So this is just another illustration of the duplication that you'll find mapped out and shown on one of the other videos. But today, let's flip to the Loyalty Rewards Program order and see how that plays out in the strategizing, okay? So I'm going to take you down a little chart here and walk you into it. So how many of you already do or order all of your products through the Loyalty Rewards Program? Do you do that? Some hearts. Okay, 2 of you. Anybody else? Tap some hearts. 3 of you. Yes. Thanks for that. Yes. Oh, you do too. Okay, awesome, awesome, awesome. So you're already doing that. Oh, okay. So you guys got this. You know that in doTERRA you have to have a loyalty rewards order if you're going to tap into all of the benefits of the commission, right? And I'm just going to show you, just kind of go through this little chart. If, you know, in order to qualify for commissions, all of the commissions, you know, if you're going to qualify for everything, you have to have at least 100 or more, right? We're just going to talk about the different totals you could have with a loyalty rewards order. 1 to 49 or 50 PV plus, 100 plus, 125 or 200. And I'm just going to go down through this and see, you know, what each one of these gets you, the benefits of doing each one. Now, if you are doing just 50 PV, does that get you any commissions? Actually, it does. Did you know that on your first level, you will be paid even if you just have a 50 PV LRP? Okay? Now, in order to qualify for everything, though, even if you just had a 100 PV order, you could qualify for the unilevel, but you're not going to get the fast start bonuses. So, you know, this at least 100 or more is going to get you everything with commissions, okay? Let's drop it down a little bit further here. What else can we look at? You know, with the Loyalty Rewards Program, you can also earn free product credits, right? Okay. Can you earn them with 1 PV to 49? No, you cannot. But you can earn free product credits with 50 PV or above. So we'll put a check in all of these because, yep, as long as you have 50 plus, you get to earn free product credits that you can use as cash. Drop down here a little further, and some of you guys know all of this, but other people are new to this, and I'm just walking you into it so that you really understand where I'm going with this and I don't lose anybody. So with the loyalty rewards program, you have the option to grow your product credits beginning at 10%, clear up to 30% on months. If you've stayed in the program up to month 13, you can start earning 30% of everything that you're ordering, of all your PV, in more free credits towards free product, right? Okay, can you get that if you're just doing this order? Can you grow your credits? No, you cannot. But can you with 50 and above, at a 50, 100, 125, and 200? Yes, you can. Can you maintain product credit percent? So, when you're building from 10 to 30, the longer you stay in this program, the bigger this gets. And you can maintain that level of percent that you get to if your order is at least, you're making that order, okay? You just have to make some kind of an order. So even if it's 2 PV, you're going to be able to maintain product credit. So that, even a small order plus the rest, will get you that. And will you be able to maintain previously accrued points? Well, you will be able to maintain your points even if you just make a very small order. 10 PV will keep your points and also keep your percentage. So anything that you order on the loyalty rewards program is going to keep your previously accrued points. Now, what about earning shipping rewards points? Okay, you get to earn those no matter how much you order, okay? So that's awesome. What about earning the free product of the month, which you have to order between the 1st and the 15th? What do you have to have for that? You have to have at least a 125 or above PV loyalty rewards order, right? You have to have at least 125 PV. So that's where 125 and above gets you a little bit more. And then one other thing we're going to add to this is if you do a 200 PV, you will be able to qualify for all of the promotions that doTERRA offers for that special 200 PV. You get a free product, which is pretty awesome, right? Okay, now let's look at something a little further along here, now that we've just laid that out. Okay, so as far as the business goes, what is going to create a strong business for you? Okay, first of all, if you do an order of less than 50 PV, you are not going to be paid, and so that's just not even any good to you. If you're doing the business, it won't work. So you have to have at least a 50 PV order to get paid on that first level. But how many of you want more than that? Are you going to just do a 50? Are you going to pass on all the rest? Of course not. You want to go at least to 100, right? Okay. Now, this is where it gets interesting. Many people will hold their order at 100 PV or a little above, right? And there's something that often happens that you need to be aware of. Maybe it's happened to you, maybe not, but be aware of this. If somebody had their order at exactly 100 or maybe even 105 PV, okay, and they had a product on that went into the promotion area, so all of a sudden, it was 100 last month, but this month they've got that product that just got discounted. Then guess what happens to that 100 PV? It drops below 100. It may drop down to where it's 98 PV, 2 PV away from qualifying. And if somebody's order drops below, that can throw out a whole bonus for them and people above them, several levels up, 3 levels up. It could throw out a bonus for people. So this is what I recommend, is that you do at least a 125 PV LRP order. Because if you do 125, we'll just throw money in there for fun, right? If you do the 125 PV and add a little bit, you're going to get the free product of the month. And if one of those items on there happen to go on a special and a person didn't change their order, well, they're going to miss out on their free product, but they're not going to be missing out on their commission, because it will not go far enough down to drop below the 100. So bringing your loyalty rewards order up to at least 125 so that you get that free product of the month, take advantage of that. And also you're placing it a little earlier in the month, which that's a safety valve too. By doing that, you really protect yourself, but also if you're teaching that, oh, that's powerful. If that's what you're teaching and everybody's doing that on your team, then you're not going to have those whoopsies at the end of the month where all of a sudden somebody missed a huge bonus just because of 5 PV or even 2 PV, okay? Yes, it could really throw things out. And do you know how I know? Because I've had that experience more than once over these 8 years. And so I look at this and go, wow, how can we make sure that we tap into the full benefits and make sure that we're set up to maximize all of the benefits of the doTERRA compensation plan? And I suggest, yeah, experience trumps it, that's for sure. the hard ways of falling into things and learning, right? But by doing this, you know, you're really playing it safe. So do you want to go all the way? Yeah, build it solid. Thank you. Do you want to go all the way to a 200 PV LRP? You can. You totally can. And if you want to look at this, you know, here's a way to look at it. I mean, whoops, sorry there. Okay, if you put just 100 PV, okay, LRP, see if I can get this down here so I can do that. It's weak, okay? It works, but it's weak. If you do at least a 125, it's very strong. If you do a 200 PV LRP, let's face it, it's solid. It's solid. And even though it is solid, I still, actually, which one do I recommend doing? I actually recommend that you do the 125 PV. Why? Or plus, you know, somewhere between 125 and 200, because it's, oh, you did? Awesome. You wanted all the promotions, see? That's awesome. If you do place that 200, you get all the awesome promotions, okay? And for a lot of people, it's hard for them to do it every month, 200. You know, if they're not making money, very much money yet, that might stretch them. But at least by bumping it up to 125, that does give you a very strong base. That's very strong, okay? But you could go all the way to a solid, solid base. And if you do that yourself, then you could teach it, right? If you did at least 125, and then you got tax and shipping on that, but hey, you know, 125. But that's what you want to do, what you're going to teach. So do what you want other people to do. Because then you can tell them, hey, that's what I do. Hey, I do a 150 PV order every month, or whatever you do. That's what I do. Let them know what you do. It's like, yeah, I always tap into it and get my free product. I want to make sure that I get all of the benefits, that I get all the free shipping, that I get everything that's available to me, right? And so with this, the LRP that you set up and the total, it really depends on what your goal is. What do you want? What do you want to accomplish? What are you doing? Does it matter to you? Do you want a strong or solid, at least strong and even a solid business now and in the future? Make that decision now and make the order that's going to give you that, okay? So this is the one that I recommend as being, the one that most people can do. And I would also bump that up to make sure that I didn't miss the 125 by a promo on that order going into place, so that, it's 10% off and then that drops below. So always check that, okay? So that's how the LRP plays into the strategy. And so when I talk further in the future scopes, I'm going to talk about them, the different ways and ways of placing people in these different ways. And I'm going to show these scenarios based on everybody placing a 125 PV LRP. Okay?